How's it going, everybody? So today I'm bringing you the second video of the three-part video series for my own shoulder slash pec rehab. And then, it's also about how I would go through the process of rehabbing a shoulder that has a similar tendinopathy or a tendon issue that's coming to me in the clinic or an athlete for whatever reason, okay? So today we have the phase 2, which is the strength restoration phase. So we're starting to get a little bit stronger. So we've backed up the first 7 to 10 days. We backed off a lot of the volume, didn't do much, focused on things to mobilize the shoulder and increase range of motion. In an open chain position, we're not really loading, and now we're gonna start loading it a little bit. So this phase typically comes on 7 to 21 days. Again, not everything's set in stone, things will overlap. And then, so we're gonna talk about continuing to limit volume, utilizing tempos and rest pauses, and then restricting range of motion as needed. So in terms of limiting volume, again, we're probably cutting that at about 50% to 25%, depending on what your tolerance is. I'm like 10 days out. I just started putting push-ups back in, but going a lot slower and doing it probably about 50% less than I was doing before. In terms of the tempos, I'm going to show you those. I'm going to show you the tempo and the pauses with probably just a push-up. I'll show you the burpee and some strategies for that. And then a simple floor press as well in terms of tempo training, okay? So why don't we talk about the push-up and when we talk about the tempo and the pauses. So I just did some of these this morning, so I'm gonna go into it. So if I'm doing tempo just means slowing things down. It can mean like 2 seconds to the bottom, 1 second pause at the bottom, 2 seconds up, and 1 second pause at the top. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to show you a slower, controlled variation of the push-up. Here, smooth, feeling the heels of my hands, if that makes sense. Here, all the way down, push up, smooth. Again, smooth down. And up. Now using that tempo, I might be a little red in the face, using that tempo is going to allow you to load your muscles a lot more, and it's going to be a lot more fatiguing. You're not going to be able to just jump through the whole process, okay? In terms of pausing, that's pretty straightforward. You could even go to here, pause here, and then down, or you can just pause at the bottom, building that tension. Restricting range of motion, same thing. If you can't go all the way down, maybe you go halfway. You pause there and then build upon that. You can also start at a higher surface too if you can't go all the way to the bottom. Say if you can't do push-ups on the ground to begin with, you could do knees, you could do elevated on a bar. What I'm doing is just this, exactly what I just showed you. I just did tempo today. My shoulder actually feels amazing after doing all my circuits this morning. All I did was 5 sets of 8 going nice and smooth to the bottom. Probably about 2 to 3 seconds to the bottom, 1 second pause, and then 2 to 3 seconds to come up. And like I said, restricting range of motion. There's a couple strategies you can take with the burpee. You can change up the burpee however you need with an injury like this. So if you're doing burpees, you can honestly just do them straight arm, or you could almost like warm it up a little bit more. Instead of trying to like muscle your way. If you're trying to muscle your way like a push-up out of the bottom, you're going to be using a lot of the muscles through the chest, which for someone like me, that may or may not make it angry, okay? And then floor press. So if I was doing a floor press here, I go here. So if I say I have one arm, so it's my arm that has the issue, okay? Gonna go smooth Elbow is about 45 degrees from the body. Back up. Here, load. You can do a light brace. Back up. Got it? If you have any questions about any of that, comment below on this video or comment in the Facebook group comment feed. I will get back to you. I think that is all. So that's all what I'm doing for this phase. Volume, tempo pauses, restricting range of motion as needed. I didn't really do that too much, but that's something you have an option for. And then you have these 3 different variations, which is mostly what we're doing all right now in home for the most part, unless you're doing some handstand stuff. You know, overhead pressing doesn't really bug me too much, so I've been still keeping that up. It's mostly just the loading or anything out here that's going to put it on stretch. Like I said, if you have any comments about what I just went over, I went pretty fast. I'm trying not to go make this like a 15-20 minute video. Comment below, let me know. Have a good day.